Cinematographer Galena Hutchins had precious little time to share her gifts with us, to express what her magnificent eye saw for the world before she was cruelly and senselessly taken from us, doing the job she loved. The few works of art she was able to add her stamp to show a ferocious, sensual approach to light and shadow, a distinct color palette all her own, and excitingly omnivorous technique. Whatever makes the film more alive, more exciting, it is impossible now to watch the movies that she shot and not feel her touch. In 2019, she worked on the movie Darlin, a passion project for director and star Pollyanna McIntosh, and together they made something beautifully singular in the modern horror landscape, tonally, thematically, and thanks to Hutchins, visually. Darlin was a sequel to both Andrew Vandenhouten's 2009 Jack Ketchum adaptation Offspring and indie provocateur Lucky McKee's blistering The Woman, a fantastically bleak study of the clash between suburbanite alpha male ego and completely free, violent femininity. A sexually and emotionally abusive husband and father of 3 discovers the last of a cannibal tribe living in the woods and brings her home to civilize her. It goes catastrophically awry, and all the principles he lived by that made him the king of all that he saw fail him. McKee's cast, especially Sean Bridgers in the role of the deposed tyrant, are all stupendous, but perhaps the gravest and greatest lingering impression is that of the darkness in Star McIntosh's eyes. The swelling anger, rejection of all things that this family represent, churns in them. It is perhaps little wonder that she was not done with the character that she made famous, so she wrote and directed Darlin, in which her character returns. Far from a retread of the previous installments, this places the lead character's feral foundling in the care of a pedophiliac priest and the scared nuns he watches over and lies to. As Darlin is civilized, her mother pines for her and slowly plots her rescue.
Welcome to St. Philomena's Group Home for Girls.
She's a little shook up. I don't know if she's ever been in a car. She wanted to touch everything.
Cars can be exciting.
Yes.
Sisters, this is our new girl. Well, help her in, Mrs. Jennifer. She'll starve out here if we let her.
It's like a sweaty, blood-soaked B-movie riff on Buñuel's Tristana.
Siéntate. Quiero hablarte. Tristana, yo soy perro viejo. Y sé que cuando una joven de tu edad se echa diariamente a la calle es porque ha encontrado un hueso. Ignoro qué clase de hueso es ese, pero no me lo niegues por tu vida.
Or Jacques Rivette's The Nun. Nunsploitation has for centuries been the quickest way to unearth hypocrisy at the highest levels of power. and Darlin makes a fine, frequently beautiful addition to the canon.
We don't know if it's short term, if she's just out of practice, or could be a phony. That's the desire to speak, but the belief that you can't.
We don't know how long she's been isolated.
A true innocent. Completely feral. It's incredible.
I'm not really sure that she's always been feral, Bishop, as I say.
But no evidence of a family.
No, not yet.
It's extraordinary. Why won't she turn around? There you are. This is Sister Jennifer.
Hello.
Pleasure, sister.
She splits her service between the Sisters of Mercy Homeless Mission downtown and a girls' care home, Philomeno's. And she was in care herself. It was that experience that brought her to God.
I see.
So, you see, Doctor, she will have a mother of sorts.
The through line of all three films is what happens when the supposedly iron will of civilized people comes up against those who have left civilization behind. When the masters of the world meet those who are not of this world, nor subscribe to its craven, wagon-circling morality. Macintosh's film is a collection of gorgeously sacrilegious tableaux, courtesy of Hutchins' otherworldly lighting, of humans realizing that there will never be a place for them in civilization, because that world is a lie. The supposedly enlightened are always just looking for someone to exploit.
If God were to see you without any clothes on, without any shame, that would make him very happy, wouldn't it?
The film is more interested in patiently documenting the process by which someone who has lost their taste for the world slowly regains it, and finds that there is nothing there for them. The world that Darlin left behind may be insane. It may be kill or be killed. But out there in the wilderness, things make sense.
Sister Jennifer, why aren't you filming this?
I baptize you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Darlin is a film about losing the things that made life worth living, made all the more incandescently tragic by the premature passing of one of its architects. Even monsters get lonely. And as the state pushes more of us into homelessness, desperation, poverty, anger, depression, and misery, we'll find the world will look like just a few humans, and the rest of us will be monsters to them, the people who can't contribute to the great societies, where the men at the heart of this trilogy of terror are allowed everything, and the rest of us are shunned, chained, and tortured.
What did you make her do?
A sin of judgment.
You can't make her do that. You can't.
I haven't touched her. Sister Grace will tell you. She's 8 months along. Nonetheless, it makes me very sad to see how much resentment you have in your heart for me. You had offered me forgiveness. The sin of contempt.
I was a child. You were supposed to take care of me.
You were a junkie. And I did. You leave any girl alone long enough, and someone will take her. Or she'll whore herself out. It should be God. A man of God who draws her first blood and leads her into obedience. You can understand that now, can't you? Now that you're an adult? Aren't you glad it was me?
It's only monsters who can stop monsters. Pollyanna McIntosh's movie isn't the kind of thing that wins legions of fans these days, but it has a head and a heart, and all too rarely, an eye.
That when she made him red blood, and I cried, but he was dead, and I was still hungry, but it feels like a sin to eat when they smell of love. It felt like a sin with Peggy, too. Was I bad to eat? Do you think they're in heaven?